Labubu, the nightmare. You can't escape. I never believed in haunted toys. I always thought those stories were just urban legends made up to scare kids. But what happened to me in the summer of 2023 still keeps me awake at night. I was living alone in a small apartment just outside of Portland, Oregon. My girlfriend had recently moved across the country for work, so most nights it was just me, the silence, and the creaking noises of an old building. One Friday evening, after a long shift, I stopped at a small thrift shop near downtown. I wasn't planning on buying anything, but as I walked past the toy aisle, something caught my eye. It was a stuffed toy. About a foot tall, with big, round eyes, pointy ears, and a strange grin stitched onto its face. Its tag read, Labubu, Limited Edition. I'd never heard of it before. Something about its weird, mischievous expression made me laugh, so I picked it up. The old lady at the counter gave me a strange look as she rang me up. She mumbled something under her breath that I couldn't catch. That night, I tossed Labubu onto the chair in my living room and went about my routine. I didn't think much of it, until I woke up at around 2:37 a.m. to the sound of faint scratching. At first, I thought it was just my upstairs neighbor, but when I sat up, I realized the noise was coming from inside my apartment. Specifically, the living room. I walked out, half asleep, and froze. The toy wasn't on the chair anymore. It was sitting on the floor, upright, staring straight toward the hallway I was standing in. I told myself I probably kicked it over earlier without noticing. I put it back, went to bed, and forced myself to sleep. But the next night, it happened again. This time, I locked my door, made sure the toy was on the shelf before I went to bed. Yet, when I woke up around 3 a.m., Labubu was on my nightstand, inches from my face. Its stitched grin seemed wider in the dim light. I tossed it into the closet that night, trying to laugh it off, but inside I felt my chest tightening with fear. By the fourth night, things escalated. Around midnight, I heard whispering, low, distorted, like a radio tuned to the wrong frequency. My heart pounded as I sat up and grabbed my phone for light. The whispers grew louder when I walked toward the closet. My hand trembled as I opened the door. Labubu wasn't there. Instead, the toy was now sitting in the middle of my bed. I panicked. I grabbed it and threw it straight out my apartment window. I live on the 3rd floor, so I thought that was the end of it. I even heard the dull thud of it hitting the pavement below. But when I finally crawled back into bed, exhausted and shaking, I felt something press against my leg under the covers. I slowly pulled the blanket back, and there it was. Labubu, smiling. I screamed and ran out of my apartment barefoot. I stayed at a friend's place that night. The next day, when I returned, my front door was wide open. Inside, everything was where I left it, except for Labubu, sitting calmly in the center of the living room couch as if it had been waiting. I decided to burn it. I took it behind the apartment building, lit a match, and dropped it onto the toy. The flames swallowed its body quickly, and for a second, I felt relieved. But then, I swear, I heard it laugh. Not a toy's squeak or a trick of the wind. An actual laugh. High-pitched, mocking. The fire went out too fast, leaving the toy half-burned, its grin still intact. Its eyes, though plastic, seemed to glisten with something alive. I couldn't take it anymore. I shoved it into a trash bag and dumped it miles away by the river. I thought it was finally over. But last week I woke up at 3:13 a.m. I could feel something heavy on my chest. When I opened my eyes, I saw 2 big, round eyes staring back at me. Labubu was lying on my chest, its burnt face just inches from mine. Its stitched grin seemed to move, and then I heard it whisper, clear this time, "You can't escape me." I don't remember what happened after that. I must have passed out from fear. When I woke up, it was morning, and the toy was gone. Now, every night I dread going to bed, because I know it's still out there, watching, waiting, and when I finally fall asleep, I dream of Labubu. And in those dreams, it doesn't just smile, It moves.